going to name the ship Ziathon. Wait, actually, what should I name the crew? Because we've got this spaceship and we're taking it into space. Any name suggestions? Mama. Bam. they're all coup related. Perfect. So I'm just going to. So I don't know if anyone's like familiar with this game at all, really, but it's kind of hard to narrate over the top of it. But I'll do my best. So we're essentially trying to get. It's pretty much every roguelike ever. You just navigate different encounters and fights and stuff until you get to the end, and then there's a big boss battle, and there's a lot of RNG. And we just got to manage our spaceship. So I will get started. And the timer starts when we click away this screen. So. We're basically just trying to go around and get as many stores as possible whilst not dying. And now that we've got that person, they're just instantly promoted to captain. These encounters aren't great because the ion storm basically affects our power, so we can't do all the things that we kind of want to, and this beam is going to hit me, so we should be able to win once it fires. These are all our little crew, and that's the pilot now because I've got to go to the store. It's kind of hard to explain because there's a lot. Okay, I'm going to get greedy and essentially we're just trying to go to as many stores as possible early so that we can build up the combo that we need to one-shot the boss. Yeah, FTL's music is really good. It's really relaxing and chill. And these beams are going to be like the core part of what the strategy is, because we can just do as much damage as possible in a single moment. And in that store that we had earlier, there was also the glaive beam, which is the most powerful weapon, but also takes forever to charge, so not the most practical, and it's kind of expensive. And we're essentially just trying to min-max the amount of damage that we can get to the beam from the beams, because they each do 1 damage per, or 2 damage per beam hit, but the shield kind of intercepts it. Yeah, we might as well take a crew person. Yeah, this sector is just a mess because the path is really awkward to go round, so it's kind of awkward. These hazards are a pain because they take up time, which is why we upgraded the engines right at the start, because that means we can just charge up a lot faster. Get out of here quickly rather than hanging around for ages. So we're just looking to really just grind up these first few sectors to get some scraps so that we don't die, because that's honestly half the run is just I'm going to risk it. Normally I'd upgrade the weapons so I could actually use that missile early just to take out their shield so that the beam does full damage, but it didn't. We instead saved for the store, which is perfect because we got the exact weapon we need. This is actually starting to be a really good run because we've already got all of the weapons we need just to one-shot the boss. Because these beams each do damage per room hit, so you can awkwardly move them in between and get just ridiculous amounts of damage, which is handy. And because we scouted out the sector from one of these automated drones, it means that we can see everything ahead of us. I'm going to sell the Hammer Beam and instead swap over to Hull Beam, just because that saves us some power, because it only uses 2 power. And each time you upgrade the weapon systems, it gets more expensive, so not having to get that final upgrade is pretty convenient. We did just probably pick the wrong option there. Now we've got to upgrade the engines, or repair them rather. I'm going to put that point into the weapons one, I think. Yeah, FTL's a kind of popular game. It's quite old at this point, but there is a reason why nobody really speedruns it. It's about, I think, like, it's hard to pay attention and yeah, we just need fuel and then we're good. Yeah, I think there's a reason why not many people speedrun it, because it's just there's so much RNG. It's hard to reliably win, let alone go fast a lot of the time. And all of these encounters that we're picking and the options that we're choosing, they can vary each time. Yeah, I can understand that. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, an asteroid field is a pain because one of the real strengths of this ship in particular, and the reason why we're using it, really, is because of this Zoltan shield. It just insulates you from damage completely. But each asteroid just knocks it down, and it ends up not working. We've got a really good amount of crew, we've got all the weapons we need, we just need to buy some systems, which is relatively easy because even though a lot of this game is random and actually and varies a lot, because just the way that systems are distributed in stores, it means that we're pretty nope. Okay, so we kind of picked badly there. I haven't done as much practice as I was kind of intended to do, so I evidently picked badly in that encounter because we'd rather not have lost the crew. But At least it's not Ku or Malport in ammo. I shouldn't have accepted that either. So I'm making a few mistakes, but we're pretty ahead of schedule. So it's fine. Yeah, if anyone has any like questions or anything, feel free to ask. It's kind of easier to focus on specific questions rather than explain every bit, just because there's a lot of tricky decisions and it's hard to focus on a lot of things at once. Every time someone says mammo, a butterfly, no, wait, it doesn't lose its wings that bad. Whatever the good one of that phrase is. So now, in that one store, we just got all the upgrades we need. I'm honestly not actually 100% sure what we're supposed to do now, just because usually you don't get that early. Though luckily we've got some easy encounters, so try that there first. Yeah. I mean, we've got all the weapons, the hacking, the cloaking. The reason why this run works is because yeah, we'll just get out of this encounter. Oh, also they weren't even healing. I'm pressing the wrong hotkey, that's why. Okay, I'm not sure we can actually win this encounter, but we'll try. Whew. That was kind of finicky. So yeah, we're just really just farming crop break at this point. This is... oh, I shouldn't have taken that ladder. So I can afford to play really fast for this rest of the run, hopefully. And then fire that missile to finish them off. Might as well cloak for no reason, really. Actually, I'm going to do some upgrading now. I'm just going to start skipping encounters because we're miles ahead. Why? I'm going to sell the missiles now because now we can fully transition over to the... okay, I'm just going to go. Even there. So I just need to look at the... do we need another point of... no, we need drones. We just need to upgrade the reactor at the minute, I think. So I'm going to just go and sell that drone. Why did you still go Spanish? Was it like the name or something? Yeah, I would say beating the game normally at this... well, it's kind of tricky because the game normally is not... I think at this point I've played it enough that on the easiest difficulty with a strong ship layout like this, I can reliably win the game like 100% of the time on easy difficulty. But the world record is something like... I mean, we've just passed the world record because of the RNG. So this is... I tried to basically come up with a route that was as reliable as possible, so we should be able to win every time, but also go as fast as possible. So I feel like this is probably one of the runs that's the most fast, but also without just risking it all on getting good RNG in the first like sector. So okay. Yeah, now we can just absolutely. This might actually be a PB, I think. We got incredibly good RNG with rolling for the beam weapons. Now we've got all of our weapons available, so no matter what they do, we can hack their shields and then just tear them apart with beams. Yeah. Wait, what happened there? Oh, I didn't fire the... Oof. That was... Yeah. Yeah, this game is basically a randomizer. I had to do so many practice runs just to like kind of get an idea for where, like what corners we can cut. Because as I said, it's like if you just grind out every sector really slowly, you can do reasonably well, but that's obviously incredibly slowly, so it's not really. I can upgrade the cloaking as well, just so we've got a bit more safety. I'm turning over here. The nice thing about those quests is that you can just accept them, and then even if you don't actually do them, you still get the initial reward for them, and you don't get punished. The weapon that you see on their left-hand side is one of the best weapons in the game, but it takes so much time to charge that it's just doesn't work for the AI very often. And I just want to get to the end as quickly as possible, just because we're pretty much done. We might as well sell all the missiles that we just picked up earlier. Wow. This is so quick. And yeah, just in case it wasn't clear, like the core thing that we're doing is using the hacking drone to get rid of their shields, these are all the little rooms, and then use the beams to just do as much damage as possible. Yeah, I have. I mean, it has 100% happened to some people. It's like the world record is something like 12 minutes or something, but that requires a different strategy, which I shouldn't have picked that. Oops. Which we are not going to use. And this, you can see a snapshot of that defense drone is literally supposed to shoot down the shields. That's its one job. But if you depower it just before it just misses it, which means, oh my god, yeah, this is actually too fast. I've actually gone, yeah. We've got so much scrap. We actually want something good here, ideally, just because, yeah, there's nothing there. If any of these have good weapon charge, we'll take it. Actually, I'm going to do my upgrades while I can. I have further than light. Ah, oh, that's why it was so quick. Because we didn't get a. Oh no, this actually could. Wait, I need to actually take this slowly because those mantis might. So the tricky thing here is that there's boarding parties, but our crew is specifically really bad at. So we basically need to just juggle aggro as best we can to not die. You go there, you go there, you go there. We've been sabotaged. I think that was actually possibly part of the reason why this one has gone so well, is because we got so many of the this is the first boarding party that we've actually run into, which is just really good. Because boarding parties are nasty, especially when they're mantis in the late game. Yeah, the people will like heal in the med bay, but they're so squishy. Zoltan don't have much health, and the Engi don't have any health. So luckily, we did not lose any of our crucial crew. That was, I mean, what, like a minute, 2 minutes? Just gone. I can't be too mad about it because usually you run into like a bunch of boarding parties just at various points. And this is it. Final level. Before 20 minutes. I just want to double check. What? Yeah. Usually you run into a bunch of boarding parties and they take a while because you've got to micromanage the crew to be able to really survive with a crew this week. Luckily we didn't run into any. And this final sector is just really about trying to get to the flagship as quickly as possible because we should be able to take it out relatively easy now. And each of those little repairs, so we're going in, this is it, the final boss. And the final boss is, it's a big boy. It's a big boy with big toys and it does a lot of damage, but luckily it's the same thing every time, so it's one of the things that you can deal with relatively easy. So the hacking is good. I possibly cloaked too early then, but it should be fine. We're going to start draining their shields as the weapons start charging. Which weapon is this? It's pipe beam, so run through as many rooms as possible. And this hull beam does extra damage to hull, so we want to hit an empty room. That's the first stage done. This is supposed to... This is like... Yeah. This is the reason why we go this build, because this is... Like pretty much every roguelike ever. The last boss is hard and then everything... Oh, I missed. I missed the timing on the... So. Yeah. This beam just makes it so much easier. Oh no. Sometimes this happens and I'm not 100% sure why, so it's hard to play around because I don't actually know why that didn't one-shot them. So we're going to have to just survive for a bit. Actually, no. Yeah, I'm going to take it. I could have possibly like fled, but I'm going to just take it because we can. Yeah. Ink. Yeah, sometimes the beams don't exactly work the way you want them to, and sometimes they don't do as much damage, which is a little bit of a pain. I got a bit close. Oh, also my oxygen is not currently on, which is not great. Now we're going to go in again. Yeah, I think with that last bit, and because we played it a bit safe earlier, I think we're not going to get a PB, which was like 23 minutes. But we should get under 25, which is nice. So I tried something new that time, which is what I didn't actually use cloaking to dodge their initial thing, because the nice thing about cloaking is it gives you so much dodge, it means that you can dodge that. It basically does nothing. And so now we've got it so much later. And that's the reason why we're putting all our points into the evasion rather than the shield. Because the shield doesn't do anything until our Ziathon shield is down. At that point we've pretty much lost anyway. I just gotta place these beams right. and the timing ends when. Woo! And that's it. That wasn't a bad run, all considered. It wasn't quite PB, but it was. I mean, sub 25 is pretty fast. Yeah, I think we had a bit more scrap than I would have wanted to. We could have cut out more beacons at the end and just gone a bit faster, but overall, that was pretty good. Thanks everybody for watching and for your support. And up next it's Gun Destiny, who's playing Sekiro, and they're really good at that game, and it's a really good game. So stick around. I imagine I'm passing it over back to Jake in a second.